There's been a lot of America bashing lately. I hear it kind of everywhere we go. This decline feeling that we are no longer a wonderful country. Do we have our faults? Yes. I look at it like ourselves. Like I have so many faults within me, and I know for a fact y'all have so many faults within inside of yourselves. You may or may not want to recognize them. Now, if we take that and juxtapose that to the whole United States, well, do we just throw ourselves away? Do we just throw our country away? No, we have to recognize what the problems are, begin to use the tools that the infinite energies of the universe, the source of all things, God gave us to actually consider what it is we are doing, what path are we on, what path allows us to have the maximum amount of freedom that allows me to enjoy my rights without interfering with yours. And the same thing with you. You can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't interfere with my rights or harm somebody else. That seems like a reasonable goal for a country. It seems like that should be the aim. Same way with our internal soul. Like, we don't discard ourselves. We have to first recognize the problems within us. How do we treat others? How do we treat ourselves? And those are a direct reflection upon the country as a whole. If we cannot, one by one, start to recognize our own faults, write them down, figure out how we communicate better, so we can communicate better with our neighbors, so we can communicate better with internally and with our neighbors, and allow us to communicate with the energies all around us. Y'all all create your own energetic vibrations. That is just a fact. Everything has vibration and frequency. And if our vibration and frequency are sending out negative waves, oh, we can't fix ourselves, oh, America is doomed. Well, those are self-fulfilling prophecies. So if we want to know what the issues are, well, we have to examine ourselves. We have to examine the history of ourselves, just like most people have childhood trauma. I think everybody has something. Even if you had the perfect family, you have something that is stuck in your mind and heart that has carried with you throughout your life. So if you can think of it as the United States the same way, from its infancy until now, it's had some childhood trauma. And we have to recognize what all those are. Instead of hiding them from ourselves, we need to expose truth for what it is. We need to understand the true nature of history. We need to understand that we must be able to communicate clearly, honestly, and effectively to everyone without being canceled, without the worry of offending everybody. Because if we can't offend ourselves by our own actions, because we are terribly offensive to ourselves. We eat crap, we don't know what we put in our bodies, we don't know why we think certain things, we don't ask important questions. We may think we do because we think we're smart, but we're not. We have the ability to critically think. We should exercise it. That takes a lot of practice. We have the ability to look at ourselves honestly if we can get past our ego, which is very difficult. All of these things take practice. They take us coming together in small groups and larger groups, in all sorts of organizations that you may have an interest in that help you get to know yourself better, including this one. We get together every Sunday at 1:30 here. And the reason we get together is because we want to uplift each other spiritually. We strive to communicate and talk about topics that are important to day-to-day life and how we understand ourselves and the broader world around us, so that we can communicate better with ourselves, so we can communicate better to other people, so we can more clearly get in tune with and resonate with the frequencies all around us, so that we can communicate and pray and meditate better with God, the source, infinite intelligence. That is the broader goal. And I think if we start coming together one by one, we can make a drastic difference. We're never going to agree on everything. Nobody is probably ever going to agree 100% on everything. But we can come together as adults and be reasonable and understand that whatever my wishes are, if I impose them upon you, then I'm infringing upon your right. If I force you to do something that you do not want to do, then that's a problem. That means we might have to readjust the entire system of this country, which would be great. A wonderful thing is that most people, well, it's a great example of why most people don't understand even the country they live in. We call it a democracy. This is not a democracy. We wear that word out all the time. Oh, for democracy overseas, for democracy here. We live in a constitutional republic, is what we live in. It's a weird form of democracy, but it's not democracy. It is a constitutional republic. So if we don't even understand that little basic thing about us, how can we start to fix the issues? We have to think. We have to find the resources to think. We have to be around people that elevate us, because if you think you're the smartest person in the room, you need to pick another room. We must come together. I think we have the ability. This country, and its vastness, and its awesome terrain, and its wonderful people, we have the ability to do awesome stuff together. And I say come together. I say start refilling synagogues, churches, mosques, whatever it is that you believe in. Get together with your core people in peace and harmony and have awesome discussions so we can do broader things together. And if any of this resonates with you, we get together every Sunday at 1:30. It's best if you get here a few minutes early. That way, because we like to start at 1:30. We're pretty punctual. We believe when we say we're going to do something, we do it. So we start at 1:30. I appreciate y'all joining us, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day. And just remember, you have to know yourself. It's a difficult thing. You have to wipe away the ego so you can see the true essence of yourself, and that's the same way with the United States. We've all done bad things. Our country has done bad things, continues to do bad things. But if we don't recognize what those are and talk about them openly and honestly, there can't be solutions. Same with ourselves. We have to recognize them, fix them. Same way with our nation. Thank y'all for joining us. MysticsOfTexas.com. MysticsOfTexas.com. You can see what we're all about there. Thanks for joining.